So we want to talk about documentation and you say you might sleep off. So I'll be talking, you sleep off. Hi God, abeg. I will not drop this recording. I will not drop it. If you sleep, especially for you, Muyiwa, that recording will not reach your hand. Try me and sleep. So we're here to talk about documentation because after Python now, you guys will be our old students, call you people our former students, will chase people out. So we noticed that your documentation for some of you, you probably doing very well, right? But apart from that, like, well done, guys. I don't think we tell you guys enough how much we are proud of you guys, all of you in the Power BI cohort, right? You guys are actually making us very, very proud. I like the fact that you people look out for each other and you practically know yourselves, right? That is what we're trying to build, and you guys are actually telling us that yes, we are doing the job well, right? So, thank you for that. So, we're going to learn about documentation. It's not going to be long, just I think about a 15-minute session or something like that, and possibly teach us about Medium because I think that's like the cheapest platform where you can post your work, like post your full work that someone gets to see them without interruptions. Like if it's on Twitter, you have to be doing threads and so on. If it's on LinkedIn, you have to be, I don't know how LinkedIn works in terms of writing like full documentation, right? So I feel like Medium is cheaper or easier to navigate compared to these other apps when it comes to trying to post your project somewhere, and you can always take this link and give it to someone, give it to employers, put them in your portfolios, which are going to be, they're going to teach you how to create that later. So we're going to have that particular class, how to create a portfolio later. That will be when you're done with your entire project. So you get to create a portfolio where you're going to put your Excel projects, your SQL projects, your Power BI projects, and also your Python projects. You're going to put these four projects there, and we know that we are done with it, we will kick you out. So today we're just going to learn about documentation because your next project, we don't want to see what we saw the last time. We want to see way better than that. Not that, don't get me wrong, not like you guys didn't do a good job, you people did, but we want to see better than that. That is why we are here, right? So let's get into it. So I really don't have much. I don't have a slide. I got this from my post. There was a post I made on Twitter. If you are following me and your notification is on, I'm sure you've seen this post, but I just want to explain what this is all about. I don't know if you guys can see. Can you see my screen, please? If you can see, if you can, it's a key.
Yes, we can see.
Please help me to chase this Lekon out of my class. Go away. I don't, I don't want you anymore. Go. Where is Jacob? He should come and carry you away. I don't want you anymore. Please carry him out. Now let's continue. So, what is documentation, right? What do we call documentation? Let's start from there. So, documentation is like a proper, I don't know what to use and replace documents, right? A proper document that contains everything you did in your analysis, not just analysis. I'm sure one way or the other we've done documentation, whether it's in school projects or maybe our personal life or work projects. At some point, you have done a documentation where you have a deep explanation of everything that you have done, right? That is what you call a documentation. You are practically keeping things or you're practically saving what you have done for later, right? So in these terms, why do you do documentation? It's not just for yourself, it's not just for you to be able to go back to these things and do them later, right? Because if you keep documentation of your work or track of your work, you should be able to do them using that same steps that you wrote down there. Now, it's also for your stakeholders so that they can always go back to whatever work that you've given them and they can read and maybe replicate whatever you have done, one, or understand what you have done even better, right? So it's not every time they want to go through your project, they'll have to call you on phone. Please, the data cleaning you did, what are the steps you took? You explain. 2 months later, please, the data cleaning you did, what are the steps you took? You explain. But when you have a documentation that is saying all these things, nobody is going to call you and start asking you these questions, right? That's another one. Two, when you are in the job market and you're looking for a job, so if we are the both of us, let's say we are looking for jobs now, and you come with your project, right? Your project is sales analysis, you bring your dashboard and everything, and you put it out there. And then I bring my own dashboard, but then I have a documentation. Now, yours might look like catfish, right? One, it might look like catfish. Two, it might look like it's stolen, because I know we are not new to this space. People steal people's work a lot, a whole lot, right? So now, the why I say it will look like a catfish, because they're looking at it like maybe you are not the one that did this. Because if you're the one that did this, you should be able to explain whatever you have done here, but you just have a dashboard in here, right? So this is like a first-hand experience. The first interview I have, if you have gone through my portfolio, right? When I created that portfolio, it was out of um how do I put it? I just wanted to create something. I just wanted my potential employer to see something. At that point, I didn't know anything about documentation. I didn't know anything about um an- analyzing properly. I just knew how to create a dashboard, and I just wanted to create a dashboard, and then I put it in a portfolio. So the first interview I got, the my employer then was like, "You have a dashboard in here, but there is nothing about your dashboard." That is one. Two, they asked me about my dashboard and I could not explain, because I never expected them to ask me about my dashboard. So it was looking like I was not the one that did the job. But this is my sweat. This is my morning, afternoon, night that I did not sleep. Well, I could not defend it. Now I was asked, "Do you have a documentation? Maybe you didn't put it up or something." I don't have. The only thing I have is the dashboard. So it took the man time to say, are you sure you are the one that did this thing? Because it's not looking like it. You can't even defend it, because one, I couldn't even remember. But if I had the documentation where I did this thing, if I was going to be in an interview, I can just easily go back to that place and read through. It's not just, you can see that it's not just helping your employers, it's also going to help you in the long run, right? Because those things you have up there in your portfolio, you should be able to explain them. If they ask you, you should be able to explain them as if you just did them. You cannot be saying, "Oh, I don't know." They are expecting you to know, because you're coming for an interview. You're supposed to know whatever you are presenting to them, right? So, but when you don't have the documentation, you just have your analysis that you have done. You put up a dashboard, and they ask you, or you are going for an interview. The next thing you're looking at it, you're seeing a pie chart. You don't even understand what the pie chart is even doing. Yourself, that is a data analyst, you are confused. How about your employer? So you can see the reasons why your documentation is very important. So we're going to go through the steps of what a proper documentation is supposed to look like, right? Sorry, let me accept this person. So number one is your title, right? Your documentation, your project should have a title. There is nothing like um, sales analysis. There is nothing like supermarket analysis. There is nothing like how do I put it? That supermarket you are trying to analyze. If it's not a real supermarket, you can give it a name. I shouldn't be saying things like supermarket, and what do you mean supermarket analysis? So is this just a random supermarket that you just went to, or you analyze the entire supermarket in the whole of Lagos or in the whole of Enugu to get us this result? No, it's a particular supermarket, right? So it should have a name, and a clear name. Maybe Annie's supermarket, or Lakecombe Bush Parlour, something something something. I just wanted to get back at him. Something that is very
Comina, Comina supermarket.
you see, or blessings buying and selling. Just give it a name, right? So we know that you're talking about a particular thing. You can't just say supermarket. Supermarket stands for almost all the stores you have around. That is not a name, right? Or health analysis, or hospital analysis. No, please. Even if it's COVID, maybe COVID analysis of COVID, world COVID record, Nigeria, Kenya, like let it be specific. So if we are saying world, we know that we are dealing with world. You can't be doing Nigeria and your name is COVID, the name is COVID. Okay, COVID, what happened to COVID? Let's have a clear name so that before I open your project, I know what to expect. I cannot be opening COVID and be saying for the entire world or be saying for Nigeria. I'm just supposed to see COVID, name not see location. Just talk about COVID. Then number two is like a brief summary, right? This part can come at the end, but it's also good at the beginning. Like more like an if you have done final year project, you can see that this is almost like how final year project is. So it's like an abstract, like a summary of what this your analysis is about. So now when I post on Medium, what I use as my summary is my dashboard. I don't write any text. I put my dashboard as my summary because I want it to attract whoever is going to read. I don't want the person to get to the last part before they see my dashboard. So to me, my my abstract is my dashboard. My dashboard is supposed to tell this person, okay, let's see what she has to say. That is what your abstract or your summary is supposed to be. If you have done, like we have said, if you have done defense in in the university, they always tell you that is from your summary, they will know if they are going to be interested in reading whatever you have in your document. So you want to put something that is attractive, something that is going to make your reader want to read your 11 minutes note or your 12 hours write up. So your abstract is very important. So you might want to put your dashboard there, you might want to put a summary, but let it be catchy, like catchy, catchy, catchy. Then the next thing is your introduction. This introduction aspect, you're talking about the background. That is, you are telling us about, say if it's a supermarket, you're telling us about the supermarket. So this is a supermarket that has three branches. They sell this, they sell this, they sell this, they sell this. So we understand where your project is going to, right? We understand that you are trying to analyze a supermarket that has three branches, four branches, located here, located here. They sell this, they sell this, they sell that. That is what your introduction should be about. Then your problem statement is the problem that you want to solve. This is not where you are writing your objective. Your problem statement is usually 1 or 2 lines or 3 lines or 4 lines, but it is not objective. Problem statement is like, oh, this is what your boss have called you to say. Okay, data analyst Blessing, as you can see, in the past 2 months, we've been having low sales and we don't know why. The problem statement is that you people have low sales in that company. That is the problem statement. The objective is now the questions that you're going to ask to help you answer the problem statement. Questions like what time does the supermarket open? Who is in charge in the morning? What is our highest sale? All those your analytical questions that you are going to answer that can help you answer this your big question. That is what your objective, that's what you classify under objective, those questions that you're going to answer that can help you answer your big question. So your big question is your problem statement. That is for the introduction aspect. Okay. So then we have your data description. Obviously, you want to say where your data is from so that they know if it's from a primary source or you downloaded it online or you created it yourself. You want to say where your data is coming from, right? Then data source, data collection. If you collected the data, you collected the data, how the data was collected. If you didn't collect the data yourself, you can skip that. You can just write your data source. Then you have data characteristics. This is where you are talking about what you have in the data set. So the different types of columns you have, the data types, what these columns contain. So you have the female string, you have um, revenue. The revenue is integer or float or decimals. You just have like a description of what your data set is about, right? You describe the column and the data set so that someone that has not seen the data set can imagine and say, okay, this is what the data set is supposed to look like. That is for your data characteristics. Then number 5, we have the methodology. This is now where you are telling us how you came about your results. So First of all is data cleaning. We all know data cleaning is very important. I know that you people know this one already, but let me still hit it. So tomorrow somebody will not tell me, oh, it's not relevant. Hey, hey, hey. Okay. Data cleaning is very important. It's a step that you should never miss. Don't ever say, I think the data is clean, or the data looks clean, or I feel the data is clean. Don't feel it, don't think it, don't look it. Do it. Look for duplicates, check for missing values, do all those things. If you don't find any dirty in the data, good for you. But it doesn't stop you from cleaning the data. Clean the data to be sure that data is clean, because I promise you, one error in your data cleaning can send you to jail, especially if you are doing analysis for an able man. You now make mistake and he's losing millions. You will go to jail with that 500,000 that they paid you for that analysis. You, by the time you pay yourself, you know that that money that they paid you was small. So don't ever skip data cleaning for any reason. So this is where you're going to be writing your data cleaning steps. You're writing the steps that you took. Now you are writing as if you are going to go back to this thing. Let's not use others. You're going to go back to this thing. And when you go back to this thing in 10 years' time, you want to be able to replicate the steps that you have there without stressing. So if I did data cleaning, okay, I look for duplicates. I did this, I did that, I did this. All the data cleaning steps that you took, write all of them, right? Write all of them for your own good. Now, I'm not even, like I ever said, I'm not even talking about your stakeholders. I'm not even talking about people that will get to read your work. I'm talking about for your own good, because when you go back there later, you might think that you remember. Oh God, the day your brain will show you fuck up is the day you open something and you're like, who did this? Your brain will tell you, you think I was whining you. That's when you know. Don't don't write it like, oh, let me just write it. Write it like something that you want to come back to read and understand later when you have no idea. Something you want to give to someone that is not into data analysis, or someone that is just starting data analysis, and the person will be able to replicate whatever you have done. That is what you want to do. So your data cleaning steps. Then you have your EDA, right? So this one is, you're exploring your data set, you're trying to understand what you have in your data set, you're doing descriptive statistics, you're doing um you're getting KPIs and so on. You're just basically trying to get like a summary of what your data set is about. Most times people do descriptive statistics. This is where you are checking for your mean, you're checking for biggest number, lowest number, and so on. So if it's Excel, you can just easily use data analysis to back to do that. But if it's in Power BI, can you do that with just one step? I don't think that function is available in Power BI. I've not checked, right? But it might be there. But in Excel, there's data analysis toolpack that can give you all the descriptive statistics that you're supposed to have in a data set with data analysis toolpack. So, but this is where you're having like a description of like a summary of what your data set is about. You're getting highest number, sum of values, count of values, average, da 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 da. Most of what we call KPIs. Some of these things we call them KPIs. Okay, so that's for that. Then we have the analysis proper. This is, who is this person by this time? Sorry, guys. Oga Jacob is now you're joining. So your analysis proper. This is where you are. If you have, if you have 2 billion dashboards, you have 3 billion charts, you have to explain each of these charts one by one. Don't gather them together and do, okay, sales analysis, sales by category, sales by location, sales by this one, then you explain them all of them in one line. No, please. There are three different charts. Explain them three different ways. Right. So you have, if you have four different dashboards. So the first one is your customer's dashboard. Under your analysis, it should be customer analysis. Then under customer analysis is where you now have the different charts that you have. That is, for you to be able to create chart, that means that we are talking about the analytical questions now that you did. How did you answer these questions? What are your findings? So you're basically talking about, so this analytical question, approach, and finding, they're going to come under each of those questions. That is each of those charts. I want to use the chart to explain to you people now. Each of those charts that you have should have an explanation and the findings, as you are explaining each chart that you have and you're explaining it very well. It's not like your PowerPoint where you just put few points. This is your documentation now. You need to have a proper explanation of you need to have a proper explanation of what is meant to be there. Okay, so that's for your analysis. So if you have KPIs, remember you explain your KPIs. And another thing to note is as you're doing all these things, you're attaching pictures. So remember, as a data analyst, visualization is one of your superpowers because as you are reading it and you're seeing pictures, you're understanding better. So you are attaching pictures to these things. So your KPIs, if you're talking about sum of values, you have pictures. If you're talking about count, you have picture. If you're talking about average, you have pictures. If you're talking about sales by category, after the explanation, you have picture. If you're talking about you have pictures of those charts. So you have to turn to a photographer. In fact, your phone should be filled up with different charts when you are creating a dashboard because you are supposed to be taking screenshots of all of these charts individually because when you explain a particular concept, you put the charts there. You don't explain a particular concept and put your entire dashboard there. No, you put the chart that represents that concept that you have explained. Then we have our results. So this is our results. You're talking about the summary of your findings, your key findings, that more like a summary, right? Then we also have visualization. This is where you can now put all your dashboards, pack all of them, put links to your charts and all of that at the end. You can see where it is at the end. That is why I always say, for me, I put my own dashboard. I still put them at the end though, but I put them here abstract because I don't want you to have to wait all the way here before you see my dashboard. I want you to be excited. Like when you open it and see it, you say, okay, let me see what this girl has to offer. That's why I always put it on top of it. I say I'm giving you my secrets for free. Oh my god. Oh god. Oh. I'm giving you my secrets for free. Anyways, since I do for love, calm down that breaching. So now this is where you're putting your dashboard, your graphs, da 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 da. You're putting all of them here under your visualization, right? Then you have your interpretation of results, which is almost same thing as key insight and everything like that, right? So interpretation of your results, that is so implication. This one is not really important. It doesn't always come up, right? So this is more like research questions, like what should they do, like be further analysis or something, something like that, like further analysis. I've forgotten what it's called. Jacob, I don't know if you can help me out. Implication is called something, but it's not always important. Not important, not always necessary. It's not all analysis that you do that they have to do further research or something like that, right? Then you have your recommendation, right? You have your summary, you have your recommendation. At the end of the day, this is what they are waiting for, recommendation. That's what they want to see, right? So you can have your summary before your recommendation. You can have your recommendation before your summary, right? But make sure your recommendation is there. Oh. It must be there, right? So basically, these are just the steps. So if you arrange and do your work like this, all these things that I've just explained from beginning to end, trust me, even if you open your laptop 30 years later, you can replicate whatever you have done. Quote me anywhere. If you document your work very well, 30 years later, 40 years later, anytime you open that work, you should be able to replicate whatever you have done without stress. That is when you know that you have done a good job. You have done a very excellent job, right? It's not the one you just document like your village people are chasing you. You write here, you just write it, just oh, okay, let me just do and submit. No, do and submit. You submit. Hmm. Okay. So just try and do it like that. So I don't know if we all know how to use Medium. Is there any need to teach us how to use Medium or should we go to bed? Or do we have any questions? Somebody's hey, Deacon, you can ask your question.
Um, Actually, for me personally, I don't know about others. I would appreciate if you also teach us how to use Medium. I don't know if that can be done this night, but if it cannot, maybe we'll fix a time on how to just use it, navigate it. That's the first thing. Then the second question is, because there was a time I was reading a book on same data analysis, and based on maybe you are working for a company or you are given a project to do, and you are told, okay, this thing is needed at a particular time. And based on the scope of the project or the scope of all the analysis you are meant to do, you notice, let's say it is needed, like, let's say in 2 days, but you know that thing cannot be finished in 2 days.
Mm.
Is it proper you let your stakeholders know that they will need to give you more
Yes,
time
so
in order to be able to?
yes, so yes, so if
No
there is
mostly.
something that you should learn in this space, especially this tech space, is to learn how to say no. It's not possible this date, because it will put you in so much trouble, especially if you know how to say yes, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it.
Okay.
You will run mad. So if you know you will not be able to deliver in that
Hmm?
time frame, because especially if you are working with white people, white stakeholders, oh my God, if you say you are delivering on Tuesday by 12, they are waiting for you on Tuesday by 11:55 on Google Meet.
Hello.
They are not even 1 minute late, like 1 second like this, they are not late, and you will present that work. So you can't even escape. So if you know that it's
You wan go
something that
baff
is
now
going to
abi?
take you eh so if you know that it's something that is going to take you 3 days, 4 days, 1 week,
Hello?
it's better you tell them that, see, from my experience so far, this particular job will take me so 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 time to deliver, right? Let them now start saying, oh, it's too much, but you know that you sha told them that 3 weeks na you go deliver am o, from your experience. And let it not be that you are being extra, let it be that actually yes, that project you're supposed to deliver in 3 weeks. And most times,
Hello?
if a project is supposed to, if you're going
Can
to
you hear
deliver,
me?
they can hear you.
Cheesy, you mute your mic, Joe.
So if it's a project that you're going to deliver in 2 days, I would recommend you tell them 4 days. Why? So that by the time you finish in 2 days, you can use the remaining 2 days to go over your work again before you, it's not that they tell you to, you say 2 days and you know that it's that 2 days gone that you are going to finish, but you know you deliver work that looks like what they did in the market. So always have maybe a day or two extra to that day, so that you can go through in case again you have an emergency that happen, because life can happen at any point. You don't start giving excuses and say, oh, I'm so sorry, I was not able to meet up, da. But because of that 2 days extra or that 3 days extra that you added to that work, you'll be able to meet up. So you don't go and start stammering on Google Meet. Any other question? It's okay. Okay. You can ask, let's be fast too, so we can see if we can go through the video before we go.
Okay, thank you very much for the course, Abi, for the training. There was one thing I was reading about documentation, and the steps they wrote there, like they said that that your documentation sorry, your documentation depends on the people you are presenting to. Like if you are presenting to non-technical stakeholders, you don't really need to show all of the analysis that you did, like writing out the codes, like documenting the codes and all that. You just go straight to kind of like summarize what you did, and then just show them your recommendations or your findings and your recommendation. I don't know, no verse.
Recommendation. Okay. So
Yeah, so that's what I want to ask.
yeah, there's a difference. Do you know why we always ask you people for PPT and documentation? Word document.
You tell me now, like.
Good. So your PowerPoint, as you have, you know the name PowerPoint, you're supposed to just have points, targets. All these code, your steps in data cleaning, all those things are not meant to be there. They are supposed to be straight to the point. That is what you are presenting to your stakeholders. You cannot sit full grown men for 2 hours because you are explaining the whole of your documentation to them. Are you okay? That is why you now have your PowerPoint for you to be able to go through this point to them. Your documentation is not, sometimes it's not even for your stakeholders to start viewing. It's maybe for your company, like I said, or for yourself, or for potential employers. So if someone is going through your work at their free time, they know that yes, so this person sit down do work. Or when you are done presenting, then you can give them the full document. If they want to go over it, if they want to go over it in their free time, their luck. If they don't want to go over it. But then what you're presenting to your stakeholder is that PowerPoint that we always tell you people to make. That is what you are going to show your stakeholders. Where you wrote SQL code, no concern stakeholder o, make you no go confuse man wey dey im own. So that is the difference between having a PowerPoint and having a proper documentation. PowerPoint is just supposed to, okay, this is what you're going to present in that your meeting to your stakeholders. Is that clear, Blessing?
Yes, yes, thank you very much.
Any other person before we go? Okay, no person, no nobody. Oh, let me see if I can. If my network is going to permit me to show you people medium. Medium is not hard, and think in like 5 minutes we should be done.
All right. So while we're waiting for that, like I mentioned in the town hall, the project will be due on the 20th. Okay. Will be due on the 20th. So you can start working on your project from tomorrow. And it's still 10 days. So you still have your normal 10 days. It will be due on a Tuesday, the 20th. So that's the deadline. You can submit earlier than that, but the last submission should happen 3 p.m. on that Tuesday. After that, the form would be closed. Okay. And the second, I said I was going to give you a gift after your after the session. So your gift is Python class. Your Python class is going to start immediately after your capstone project. And we are happy to tell you that we have a new trainer for Python. Bulu Atife, what's the problem? You don't want Python? Gideon, you don't want Python? What's wrong with you guys? Okay, so we've gotten someone who is going to take you on Python, and it's a lady, and she's not African. She's from India. She has worked on several projects in Python, but you guys would get to meet her very soon. Okay. So just know that immediately after your Power BI class, you start in Python immediately, probably the following day, even before you submit. So you're submitting on Tuesday. Your Python might start the Monday before the deadline. Well, I'm not sure yet, but we'll let you know. Okay. So that's the gift I was telling you about. I hope you guys like it. Gideon, your hand is up.
Yeah. Good evening, Chief Cole. Good evening, Supreme Leader. And thank you for this class and all you do to bring us this training. Seriously, it's beyond what we can put into words, right? So, but I want to like make a suggestion or something. For Python class, it's not like Excel. You go look up and right, Excel, Power BI, and SQL. You just go look up and you can read up things and you're cool. Python is not it's not this so it has to be structured in a way that I beg you.
Google is your
And then
friend.
sir,
Google is your friend.
Google is my friend, but Google can be very crazy sometimes.
There's ChatGPT.
Even that one even worse. It's you have not heard of hallucination. It's the way you question ChatGPT, they will just be looking at you, be speaking wrong English for you.
Don't worry, you
and,
guys. Okay.
and then, sir, please, after the Power BI marathon project capstone, please, you should just give us small break now. Small break, please.
1 week, Abby.
Yeah, 1 week, please. You
Okay,
just
we'll
breathe
think
small.
about it. We'll think about it.
All right, all right. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Bacon. Alpha.
Yeah, I'm good. To buttress what Gideon just said, uh, I know the modus operandi of our project has been you give us resources, then followed by the questions. We can always read up and watch videos and continue with it. Most especially for those of us that have maybe read one or two things about data analysis before. But programming language is quite tricky.
I tell
So
you,
I wouldn't mind if you can help us. Like maybe we can have classes on maybe each of all those because programming language is a different kettle of fish. So I think that would be better as compared to just dropping resources and projects and work on it.
Okay, we'll look into that also. All
thank
right.
you, thank you.
Tatiana.
Good evening once again. Just can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so my question is as regard the reports and the documentation. Are we documenting just as we are doing it? Like, is
As a
it like
data analyst, you document as you go along. Don't wait until you finish before you do the
No, wait until
documentation.
you finish so that you see shaking.
Don't wait until don't listen.
Annie, be nice?
You document as you go along.
Wait until you finish. You will know that your village people gathered.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Right. Thank you, guys. Bolu. I'm always afraid to listen to Bolu. Okay.
Yeah, I guess this.
All right. What's up?
I just want to plead to Annie to please drop these documents that she uses. If she can drop it for me, quick.
Okay. Okay.
How much will you pay?
There's no amount we can offer you that can refuse.
Hey, they don't want me. Oh. Hey,
Smooth. Off that he speak now.
Supreme India, don't be like that now. With all the love I have for you.
don't want me. Oh. So that's
Kwamina
all we're
is
going to
here.
chop.
Kwamina is here. Love.
It's true. Oh my God. Let me finish with you guys. When I finish with you people, all of you should leave this call. Let me talk to Pamela now.
Hey, good.
Now when they talk, they will come collect your wife.
Oh yeah, let's be serious. So, first of all, if you don't have a Medium account, because I know most of us already have, I see some of you flexing already. So if you don't have a Medium account, I would say you should create one. Like I said, it's a very, 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 I think one of the easiest platform to post your work, right? And anything you see here is projects. It's not like your Twitter where you get to see other stories where people are talking about how they went to work, there was traffic, so many confusing things. Here is purely projects. Anything you see here has to do with projects or something that's going to help you in building your own project. So you go to medium.com, create an account, right? It is free, your email. No, you're not paying for anything, and it's very easy to create. So you can follow people just the way your social media works, right? Now, another beautiful thing is that you can search for projects. So if you sales analysis, customer analysis, health analysis, you can search whatever you want here, and you're going to find different projects. So this is somebody's project. I don't know what this thing is, but this person put this picture right here. This is attracting, kinda, right? This thing looks like they killed someone or something like that. So I might want to see what that is about. So I'll click on the project and you read about that project. Okay. So the same thing here, 8 lessons, da 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 da. You have different things. Like I said, over here is serious business. Nobody is doing what they're not supposed to do here. So when you create your account and you want to upload your own work, you go to the right where you have right. And one other beautiful thing about Medium, in case I forget, is it saves as you go. So as you're writing, it's saving, right? So if your system goes off by mistake or your internet disconnects or something like that, your work is saved already. You can always come back to it. So it's saved as you go. So why is this one opening? Okay, so you can see. Nice. So we have, this is what your Medium looks like. It looks like your Word file, right? So over here, you're just supposed to have the title of your analysis or the title of your project. So you have, so when you already have it in this format in your Word file, it's very easy. You are just going to be basically doing copy and paste, copy and paste. You don't need to start writing from beginning again. So that's why we always say do it in a Word file. So let's say my analysis is Annie work, right? That is the title of my analysis or something like that. You can see it says save, meaning that if I close this app by mistake, anytime I open my Medium and go to my draft, I can find this particular thing right there. So you can tell a story, that is giving a short description of what this your work is about, this Annie work, what is it about? Maybe let's say story of Annie. Just a short description of what that work is about. So we've basically passed the first step of our documentation, which says introduction. Sorry, which is title, right? We now have the title. The next part is our abstract, right? Which is the summary. Like I said, you can use the summary, you can use anything. So what I like to do is to insert a picture so that when you open my work, you get to see my picture first and you want to say, oh, okay, I want to know what this girl is trying to do here. And you say that, right? So I just press enter. Now I have a new line of to write. So if you go to this plus sign, you have so many options. So you have the option to um, insert a picture. You have the option to insert pictures from Unsplash. I think we know that site. So we have option to put a video. If you have a video, maybe when you are playing with your dashboard or something, you can put that if you want. Then we have here is to embed a link. Like if you have the link to maybe your dashboard, you want to put the link to your dashboard so that you can interact with the dashboard. You're going to click this so that it show as a link. Then this one is if you want to write a code, like you want to write like a Python code or something like that. You want to write a fresh code, you want it to look like a code. This is what you're using. Then we have these three dots. Now this is my magic because I've gone through several posts on Medium and I rarely see people use it. And I'm giving people my second secret. Oh my god. I feel like I was used. Now, this add a new part is like it gives class. It gives, oh, okay, this is supposed to be in a new page, but since we are opening like a full worksheet, let's use something to demarcate it so that you know that, okay, you know, if you are printing your work, this Annie work, story of Annie is supposed to be in the first page before you have the next page where you have maybe abstract and stuff. They're not going to be in the same page, right? So now, but as you can see, we have all of it in a straight line. If I just go ahead and put picture without a demarcation or I start writing summary, there'll be no difference between what I have here and what is down there, right? Except the title. Title can tell say what I'm doing, but there's no class is not sweet like that. So you can use this three dot dot. So it's like a page demarcation, like okay, this is a new page. Anybody that sees it know that this is supposed to be in a separate page. So over here, then I can go and insert my picture. Remember we spoke about the abstract thing. So I have a name, I'm just going to upload any random picture. So I have the picture of my dashboard here, right? So you can have a caption for the picture you have there. It might be a dashboard, might be something else. You can have a caption for that. But if you notice there, we have this ALT text, more like alternate text. What does this thing do? So when someone is trying to load your dashboard, and let's say their network is not strong enough to load your work, your analysis, and let's say your network is not strong enough to load the picture. You know, there are sometimes that network might load that text, but it will not load the images. Now, this particular space will be blank, and somebody might think that did you stop writing if they don't keep going down. You can click on this and have an alternate text that is supposed to show when this dashboard is not showing. So you can say picture of a dashboard right here. So you can write anything you want to write. It's just like a description of what is supposed to be there. So I have it saved. So I have that thing here, and I will not see it until this image doesn't load. In case I don't have data or anything, that's just what I'm going to see here. So if you click on that image, you can edit it anyhow you want. So you can see this is like the smallest. You can make it very big. You can make it extra large. So you can play with the size if you want. So let's make it small. And you can also have the capture for the image if you want to. Now I don't want to do anything. Enter. So this is part I'm going to be talking about. What is the next step? Introduction. Introduction to my analysis. That is what my analysis is about. That is what my supermarket is about. Right. So if I don't know you or you don't know me and you open my work and you've read the introduction and the title and maybe the short story I have here, and you see this dashboard, you say, wow, okay. Or let's say you see like a fancy picture, you'll be like, wow, okay, let's see what this is about. That it will interest you. That is what in your summary, your abstract is. I didn't realize this until I actually started data. Right. The time I was in school when I was doing my defense, my abstract was bullshit. And my lecturer told me point blank, if I read this your abstract outside, I would not want to read your story. That was what they told me. But I didn't get it. Right? I didn't get that comment what he was trying to say. I just felt like he was just being mean. Until I read later and I went back to the abstract and I said, na me sef, I no go read later, right? Oh. That was when I knew that okay, yes, you're supposed to put something catchy, something that is somebody is supposed to say. You know the way your bloggers they give you this one kind headline like this, then you open it and you are saying nonsense, they are saying something else. That is how catchy you want your work to be, because the reason why you are using Medium to even start with is because you are looking for work. You will not have a job and you come and be flexing on Medium now. You concentrating on that job that you are doing and be sending work to stakeholders. But the fact that you are here, you want the world to see your work and you want them to read your work to know what you are doing. So for you to catch their attention, your abstract, your summary is supposed to be catchy. That's why I use pictures. Another reason why I use pictures. So next line, I'm going to put my three dot dot and I'm going to start my introduction here. So introduction, then continue. If I want to have numbers, numbering number 2, then if you go to the next, sorry, this is 1, just number. So if I want to use alphabet instead, you use ABC and so on, right? Then if you want to go to the next line, your dot dot dot. Remember, introduction problem statement cannot be on the same page. So you have introduction, problem statement on another page, objective on another page. You just want to demarcate these things. Then when you have the explanation for your analysis, you want to have a chart. So I'm going to show you guys what a post that I made look like, so you can have an idea of what I'm talking about in case you've not seen it. But let's say we are done here. You're done with your analysis, you're done posting, you're done writing, you want to publish, right? So you can go to your publish. So over here you have add a topic. This is what we call hashtag on Twitter. So you have up to 5. So you can put hashtag data analysis, hashtag Power BI, hashtag, you know what hashtag is supposed to do for you. So anytime somebody is searching anything data analysis, your work comes up. Anytime someone is searching Power BI, your work comes up. Anytime somebody is searching sales, your work comes up. But you have just up to 5 hashtags to do there, right? So you can publish now, you can schedule for later, right? If you don't want to do anything like that, just close. Don't worry, your work is already saved in your draft. You can always get it back. You don't want to publish, you don't want to schedule for later. You can schedule for early morning in the, so maybe when you are still sleeping, you know that you'll not be able to post it, right? And then you can schedule for, I don't know, any type you want. You can publish when you are done. So I want to close this. I want to close this thing so that I'll show you guys what it should look like when you are done. What you can do it different ways. There are different, you can go through this medium and see different ways of people documenting their work. The fact that I'm showing you might doesn't mean that you should follow that particular pattern. You can go through people's work and see how they have been doing theirs, right? You can choose whatever pattern you want to follow, but make sure it is catchy. People are here to read stuff. People are here to, like this one now, say brain. If my brain is paining me, I might want to see what this person is talking about. My brain is not paining me. Anyways, so if you go to your profile, this is where your my name is. So you find your profile here. So you go to your profile. I have 17 followers. Ah, that's cute. So no, not profile. Sorry. Let me see if I don't. Stories. So under your stories, you can see how many things I have in my draft. 4. So under the draft, you can see any work. You see that I did not press any control save when I was doing the whole of this thing. It was saving on its own. And I just press back and it's already here. Right? So I need to tell you how many words you have and how many minutes read that your story is. I have just one story published because I'm a lazy person. So so I have just one story published and this was it. So hey, Jesus Christ. 11 minutes read. So let's see if my employers are going to want to read my 11 minutes work when they see it. So this is my title. This is what your title is going to look like, right? So another secret is claps. This is, we call it clap. I can't clap for myself. This is clap, right? You want to get your people, I'm giving you people tips because I know that we're all here to hustle to get job. You want to get your people, your friends, your colleagues to go and clap for you. The more people clap for you, the more your story go out there. The more, you know, the way you tweet that works now. The same way all of these things work too. So when people like your post and repost and all that, it will go viral. The same thing here. When people clap for you and you get plenty claps, they'll feel like, oh, you did a nice job. So they'll, like all these people now that their stories are showing where I don't ask them to show. Maybe it's because somebody just finished clapping for them and they feel like, oh, this person did well. So let them show Annie this person's work. That's the same thing. Right? Because it's not all the time that your employers will be on Twitter. They might even be on Medium looking for you. So you want to do this. Then this is the tell a story part, right? Then you can see the three dot I'm talking about. You can see my dashboard. Okay. I don't even know why I made it this big. You can see the three dot again. Then I have the what are they calling it? Should I call it like caption or something like that? I don't even know why I wrote this thing, but at least it's nice. Then introduction, and see the introduction. Then we have the problem statement. Then we have the data overview. That is what I have in the data set. Then here I have the data transformation step, which is the data cleaning. the steps I took in data cleaning. I handled missing values, correct converting data type, and so on. So now if you see, I have a picture of what my data looks like when it was dirty and what my data looks like now that it has been transformed, right? So when you have pictures of these two things, it will be easier for you to convince an employer or an employer to get convinced that you actually did your work by yourself, compared to where you just have a dashboard or a write-up. You see like, I sure when they are seeing all these things detailed, you go thief, but you no fit thief everything now, can you? Then you have this. Then because I did it in Power BI, I had to talk about the data modeling. How were my data connected to each other? Because I was working with more than one data. Then then I spoke about the relationship, not just this picture. I tried to explain it here. Then I have my data analysis here. One thing I forgot to put here were the pictures of my KPIs. I totally skipped. So these are like my KPIs. Remember we spoke about EDA. Then we have the KPIs. I forgot to put pictures of my KPIs here. Then we have, this is now my analysis because I had 4 different tables or 5 different tables. I did about 3 dashboard, and the first one is the customer analysis. Then I have customer analysis. Under customer analysis, these are the explanation, and you can see after each explanation I have my charts. After the next explanation I have my charts. After the next explanation I have my charts. So you can have it, I even have it before, so you can see the charts before the explanation, right? The same thing with this one. Same thing with this one. I have my charts everywhere. So we are done. Let's go down, go down, 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 down. I want to show you the difference between when I ended my sales and when I started spending for country. Where's my country? You can see product sales analysis. You can see that I broke the line so that my employer knows that okay, that one is for customer dashboard, this one is for product. So you don't start explaining customer chart, then the next chart you are explaining product, the next chart you are explaining country. They are mixing up the thing. If you are explaining customer, explain customer, everything in customer dashboard. If you are explaining sales, explain everything in sales. If you are explaining product, explain everything in product before you move. Then this is it. So if I'm too fast, you can come back later to this post. It's always there. You can come and view it. And like I said, they have other people's own too that you can go through and learn new things there. So I have all of this. So let's see what I have at the end. At the end, I have my I should have my recommendation and then my insight. You can see my finding, my insight, and then I have my recommendation, and then I put my dashboard at the end. So I also put a link. Remember that thing I told you to embed your link, that sign I showed you. You've forgotten. So I also put a link here to see my dashboard. That is, if you want to interact with this dashboard, because these things are just pictures. So if you want to play with it, click on any value so that you can see if the sliders are working and all of those things. The person will have to click here and go to Power BI service and use it. They can go there and use it for themselves, right? Most people write that the tools used for this analysis, they write the tools at the top. I don't even know why I put it at the down part, so that if it's someone that is searching for Excel kind of work. So most people write that maybe somewhere around here for you to know that okay, they use this tool. But I just wrote it down there. Like I said, we have different methods. But with this now, 10 years, 20 years time, if I read through this thing, I can replicate whatever I have done there. If I just by reading through it, I can replicate it, right? Even if, let's say, even if I don't remember how to write code anymore, the only thing I need to do is to go to ChatGPT and say, oh, customer analysis, take this data set. For customer analysis, what did I do? Net profit by age group. Oh yeah, ChatGPT help me to do net profit by age group. But if I did not document and they give me that data set, when they give me next time, I have to start from beginning again because I might not even remember that I have net profit or I have this or I have that. So I have to start again from beginning. But I have a documentation where I have everything there. So, and also if I read this properly, let's say I have an interview and I read this properly and I go for an interview and they're asking me to explain. Now you can even go and read this thing and go for an interview and say, okay, this is your work. Let's say my name is not there and say this is your work. And they start asking you to explain it and you explain it, you're going to explain it and explain it so well because there's nothing missing. You're going to explain and explain it very well. But if I was writing anyhow, write here, write up, write down, by the time you read it, you self that want to copy the work, you'll be confused. So that is what you want your documentation to look like. Let it be catchy so that your employers can see you and know that you're better than others. So you can always get the link to this analysis and embed them into your portfolio. So when you write about that project in your portfolio, when your stakeholder click on that, when they click on that link, it takes them right to your Medium where they get to read this post. Oto, that's just how Medium works. So if you want to go back, just go back and you can keep searching about different stories. Let's say sales. I like sales so much. So if you type sales, everything that has to do with sales, everybody that put sales as their hashtag or as their name, everything sales will be coming out, whether you like it or not. So if it's health analysis, you can be specific health analysis. But anybody that wrote health, remember the hashtag is also working for the person. Right? You can see low claps, 7, 15. This person knows that you go and beg your village people to clap for you. That's just how Medium works. So any question before I sleep on you guys? Okay, go ahead. Lekon, go ahead. Oh, your hand is up.
Okay, thank you very much. It has been educative and informative. And what I just, although I think you've talked about it, but I just want to have is a bit different from the documentation that we just talked about. Like if you want to structure your dashboard, let's say you want to have your main dashboard and maybe 2 or 3 other dashboards, depending on the topic or the projects you are working on. So you need to group them. Let's say, for example, maybe products dashboard, customer dashboard. Okay, don't even use for sales. Let's say something like maybe, should I say health?
Okay.
Okay, you want to group let's say based on okay countries with a particular kind of health issue. You group them in a dashboard. Maybe the kind of individuals that have that kind of group them in the dashboard. I just want to know how you structure a dashboard generally, that you have your main and maybe 2, 3 others, depending on the number of charts you have.
So let me go back to my post. So you see the dashboard and how they are connected. So if you notice right here, I have 4 different dashboards, right? And I have 3, not 4. I have customers, I have products, and I have country. Might not be so clear, right? So this is my first page. Why? You can have something else to be your first. I've seen people write, they have like a whole write up for their homepage. But for the fact that this my page is the first thing here, this is button for page, different pages. So if I click on this page or this dashboard, it takes me to the product dashboard. If I click on this, it takes me to the country dashboard. Okay, so this one is always going to be my front page because that is the first page I have there. So if I want to switch it, you just have to switch it. I don't know if that answers your question. I don't know whether I'm answering the right thing. Does it?
Yes, it does. It does.
So you just connect those dashboards to that other dashboard so that when they click on from each dashboard you can navigate the other one. So if you notice, I also have this same button right here in this product dashboard. So from products, I can go to customers or I can go to country. Also from country, I can go to product, I can go to customer. So you want to have them linking to each other. So it's not after showing us country dashboard, then you say, okay, wait, please, let me open my next page in my slide so that you can see. You just need to click on the link. Let the values change into your product, right? So that's how you connect them. So the one you have first, that is what is going to be your home page, right? So most times, like I said, people don't use chat as their homepage. They will have like a whole write up. I don't know why people do that, but I don't know. They have like a whole write up of their homepage, and then they write it homepage. You can always rename these things to what that particular thing is talking about. Exactly.
Very.
Okay. Any other question before we go? Because I'm tired, my head.